Yeonjun of Tomorrow by Together is facing hate and criticism from netizens. Hey everyone, I need to address something that's been really frustrating me lately. Yeonjun from Tomorrow by Together has been getting a lot of unnecessary hate for his new solo song Gum, and frankly, I'm sick of it. The way some netizens are bashing him, saying he's trying too hard, his dance moves are obscene, and that his voice is auto-tuned, it's completely out of line. So let me make my stance crystal clear. This backlash is ridiculous and uncalled for. First of all, let's talk about the claim that Yeonjun is trying too hard. What does that even mean? Yeonjun is an artist, and part of being an artist is pushing boundaries, experimenting with different styles, and giving your all in every performance. That's exactly what he's doing. He's showcasing his creativity, his versatility, and his ambition, and instead of celebrating that, people are criticizing him for being passionate about his craft. It's completely backward. And let's not even get started on the so-called obscene dance moves. This is nothing more than people being overly critical and frankly, prudish. K-pop has always been about powerful performances, and we've seen countless idols push the envelope with bold choreography. Yeonjun's moves in Gum are part of that artistic expression. He's confident, he's owning the stage, and that's what makes him such a compelling performer. Just because his style doesn't fit into the outdated conservative mold some people want doesn't make it obscene. If anything, it shows that he's confident enough to break out of those boundaries and express himself how he sees fit. Honestly, the fact that some people are getting so worked up over this choreography is laughable. It's 2024, can we please stop acting like bold dance moves are something shocking or scandalous? Yeonjun is doing what any great performer does. He's pushing limits and delivering a performance that's engaging, dynamic, and unapologetic. Now let's address the autotune comments. This criticism is one of the most overused and lazy arguments I've seen in K-pop. Yes, there's some autotune, but guess what? Autotune is a stylistic choice, and it's used in plenty of genres, especially in pop music. It doesn't mean Yeonjun can't sing, it means the sound is part of the overall aesthetic of the song. People love to complain about autotune, but they completely miss the point. It's about creating a specific vibe, and in Gum, it works perfectly with the edgy, modern sound Yeonjun was clearly going for. And let's not pretend Yeonjun hasn't proven his vocal abilities over and over again. He's an incredible vocalist, and anyone who's followed Tomorrow by Together's career knows that. Throwing out comments about autotune is just a lazy way to try to discredit the hard work he's put into this solo project. It's beyond frustrating to see people pick apart his voice when he's consistently delivered top-tier vocals in Tomorrow by Together's music. What really gets to me is the hypocrisy. When idols don't take risks or stick to safe concepts, people call them boring or unoriginal. But when someone like Yeonjun steps out of his comfort zone and tries something bold and fresh, the same people criticize him for trying too hard. It's like he can't win no matter what he does. And honestly, I'm tired of seeing talented idols like Yeonjun get torn down when they're doing exactly what an artist should be doing, evolving and exploring new sides of themselves. So here's the bottom line. Yeonjun deserves way more respect than he's getting. He's a trailblazer, not just for Tomorrow by Together, but for K-pop in general. The hate he's receiving for Gum is completely unwarranted, and it's time people stop nitpicking every single detail of his performance and start appreciating the level of effort, creativity, and passion he's pouring into his work. At the end of the day, Yeonjun is an incredible artist, and Gum is just another example of his talent and fearlessness. Instead of dragging him down, we should be celebrating that he's confident enough to take these risks. This kind of negativity only stifles creativity, and I for one am not here for it. Thanks for listening to my rant, and seriously, let's give artists like Yeonjun the space to express themselves without all this unnecessary backlash. He deserves better. Tomorrow by Together's Soobin I'm being super exhausted. Hey everyone, today I want to get real about something that's been bothering me. TXT Soobin's recent post where he opened up about feeling completely exhausted from training. This is not just an isolated case, it's a glaring reflection of a much bigger problem in the K-pop industry, and it's something that we can't keep ignoring anymore. Let me be clear, K-pop idols are being pushed too far. The level of exhaustion Soobin is experiencing should be a massive red flag for the entire industry. These idols are not machines, they're human beings. They have physical and mental limits, just like the rest of us. Yet, they're expected to grind endlessly, with minimal rest, constant training, and the pressure to deliver perfection every single time. And frankly, this is unacceptable. This obsession with perfection and non-stop work is toxic, and it needs to change. K-pop idols deserve basic human rights, and yes, that includes the right to rest. The industry often glorifies hard work and sacrifice, but what good is that if idols like Soobin are feeling drained and burnt out? This isn't just about Soobin, this is about every idol out there who feels like they can't catch a break. Let's be real here, exhausting someone to the point of breaking is not a success story, it's exploitation. The companies love to promote the work hard, achieve your dreams narrative, but at what cost? At the cost of their mental health, their physical well-being. This kind of pressure is not sustainable, and we're already seeing the effects. Idols are being hospitalized, taking long breaks due to burnout, and in extreme cases, struggling with mental health issues. This shouldn't even be up for debate anymore. K-pop idols need more rest, period. Companies are so focused on making money, churning out content, and staying relevant that they forget the most important thing, their artists. Without healthy, happy idols, there is no K-pop industry. The lack of care for their well-being is disgusting, and it's high time the industry took responsibility for that. And let me address something important. As fans, we have a role to play here too. We need to stop demanding more all the time. Sure, we love comebacks and new content, but would you really enjoy that if you knew it was coming at the cost of your favorite idol's health? I wouldn't. I'd rather wait longer for a comeback if it meant that idols like Soobin get the rest they deserve. We need to show the industry that we prioritize their health over constant content. If someone like Soobin, who is one of the brightest and most hardworking idols out there, is openly saying he's exhausted, that's a huge cry for help. Companies can no longer brush this aside. They need to give their idols proper breaks, real downtime, and the ability to live their lives beyond the stage. This non-stop grind culture is not something we should be celebrating. It's something we should be fighting against. Let's make one thing clear. K-pop idols are not disposable. They're not just content machines for our entertainment. They are real people with real limits, and they need to be treated as such. The industry needs to wake up and put their well-being first, and as fans, we should demand nothing less. So yeah, I'm standing by Soobin and every idol out there who's feeling overwhelmed by this insane workload. They deserve better, and it's time we start demanding better for them too. Let me know how you feel about this because it's something we all need to talk about. A call to action for the pop industry. The K-pop industry must establish strict, zero-tolerance rules against the bashing of artists to protect their mental and emotional well-being. The culture of constant criticism, hate comments, and online harassment that idols face has become a toxic and dangerous norm. Artists are not only criticized for their work, but also subjected to harsh personal attacks that can have devastating impacts on their mental health. K-pop companies and platforms need to implement stronger policies that immediately address and penalize those who engage in such behavior. Strict regulations against online bullying, hate speech, and malicious comments will ensure that idols are not constantly under a barrage of negativity and help create a safer space where they can thrive creatively. The industry should also work on fostering a culture of respect and positivity within the fan community. Clear guidelines and education on the consequences of bashing can help deter individuals from engaging in harmful behavior. There should be dedicated teams within agencies that monitor social media and other platforms to identify patterns of harassment early and take immediate action. By holding offenders accountable, whether through legal means or community bans, the industry can protect its artists and allow them to focus on their craft without the fear of being relentlessly bashed. Ultimately, safeguarding the well-being of idols should be a top priority, and it's time the K-pop industry takes strong, decisive steps to protect them from online hate.